Are you not entertained? Texas lands a 5-star defensive end commit from Richard Wesley. This one was not expected. They put out a couple people on Twitter put out a post last night and said, who do you expect to be committed to Texas? Because there were two guys that Hayes Fawcett said on Twitter that committed. I said Finkley Finley, Jermichael Finley's son, and then also John Turntine. I did not say Richard Wesley because I did not think this was going to happen. Did I think it could possibly be in the cards? Absolutely, because he was basically down to 3 schools, Oregon, Ohio State, and Texas, and we know how weird and awkward that whole Oregon thing was, and it's really rare for someone to commit to a school, decommit, and then commit back. Texas lands him. He said he's 100% in. This is for his mom. Release. Wow. 6'5", 250-pound kid out of California, reclassified from the 27 class. This guy was actually supposed to be a 2027 kid. A freak, guys, a freak. We're talking a top 15 prospect according to 247. Their composite has him as a little bit lower at number 35. But again, he reclassified from 27 to 26. This is going to be a top 30 player in the country as a 26 prospect overall on 247 and probably a top 10 prospect composite-wise. That is insane. He had 9.5 sacks. Let me repeat that. 9.5 sacks as a freshman. Guess what he did next year on varsity? Same as he did freshman. 9.5 sacks. He also had 16 tackles for loss. He's a 4.0 student, 3 forced fumbles. Also, this guy's the whole package. He really is. And this is a fantastic get for Steve Sarkisian. You have to give a lot of credit to Kenny Baker, and you also have to give a lot of credit to Le'Allen Clark, who came over from Ohio State. This is a guy Ohio State was disappointed to lose. This is a guy Ohio State said, hey, why don't we replace Larry Johnson, who is an all-time guy development-wise at the defensive line coach position, for Le'Allen Clark. That's how highly touted he was by Ohio State fans. He is that dude. He has helped us tremendously. And what Kenny Baker has done in the 2 years he has been here has been nothing short of insanity, recruiting-wise. We're talking Myron Charles. We're talking Justice Terry. We're talking Josiah Sharman. We're talking Dylan Berryman this class. We're talking Corey Wells, Richard Wesley, Bodney Cleveland yesterday. So a phenomenal job by this staff landing phenomenal defensive players. We're talking 4 guys that are going to rank in the top 300 and 4 guys that are going to rank in the top 50 of their position. They have done phenomenal work. He's said to be the best defensive edge out of California since Kevon Thibodeau. If you don't know who Kevon Thibodeau is, played for the Oregon Ducks, who Richard Wesley was committed to, got drafted, I believe, top 5 overall. He might have been the 2nd or 3rd pick overall to the New York Giants. He has played decent football for them, not great, but he was that good in college to where he was a top 5 overall pick for a really good drafting team for the most part throughout their history of the New York Giants. Really dominant in both run and pass, and that is how you are able to reclassify and be able to be basically a top 20, 25 player in the country, no matter where you look, other than 247. So you have to be dominant in both, and he is. And being 6'5", 250 pounds as a 17-year-old, guys, this guy's probably going to end up being 6'6", 6'7", 270 pounds. He is a freak of nature. He ran a 11.67 meter yard dash as a defensive end. Are you kidding me? And if let me guess, if he runs track full time, we're probably talking about a guy at 6'5" that probably by his senior year going into college, he's running 11.4, 11.3. That is freakish stuff. Khalil Lockett ran 11.1. And he's a wide receiver. He might have run a 10.9. It was somewhere between 10.9 and 11.1. And I think he's really good and he's going to be a really good wide receiver for Texas. For this guy to be this quick is insanity, guys. It really is. We talk about this on the live show every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern time, which will be tomorrow. And we'll talk about this. They are casting a wide net, guys. We have gone to Alabama to land a top 150 player. We have gone to California to land a top 150 player. We've gone to our own state to land one of those. And the Corey Wells is a little bit underrated, but I believe he's either from Mississippi or Louisiana. And then we have another guy in New Jersey right now that could commit to Texas. We have Lamar Brown, who's from Louisiana, who Texas is interested in. I don't think they end up with him, but they're going to make his top 3 to 4. So Texas is all over the map, and they're casting a wide net, and they're not just going for these 3-star recruits. These are damn good football players. We are expanding the recruiting map. We are getting the best of the best, no matter the state. This is the best recruiting job by any coach ever at the history of Texas. This was up for discussion last summer. It is over. The discussion is over. Landing someone like this, and if he stays committed, I mean, you're going into California. You're taking him away from USC, who is, guess what? They want this guy. He's in their backyard. They're in #1 class. Taking him away from Oregon and Phil Knight. And you're able to do that. That is phenomenal. And Ohio State. Ohio State wanted this guy. They have done a fantastic job, guys, and this is going to end up being a top 3 to 4 class. He's our 15th commitment. We're at 9 overall. Will be another top 3 to 4 class, and we are closing that gap on the big boys. There was a little bit of gap. It went Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State talent-wise, a little bit of a gap down to Texas, and then another little gap down to Oregon when you look at team composite. That gap is no longer going to exist after this class. That is going to be erased. We are going to be just as talented as those teams, and guess what, guys? Those are the only teams we lose to. If you look at the history under Steve Sarkisian, he only loses to teams that are more talented than him. That's it. Those are the only teams. We lost to Georgia twice last year. Guess what? They're more talented. Ohio State, more talented. If you close that gap, Texas is going to start winning national championships, and I think he's going to win multiple. So this is a phenomenal job to land this kid. He's a phenomenal prospect. Obviously has his you-know-what together because you're getting a 4.0 and you're reclassifying. He's said to be a super hard work in the weight room as well. I think you're getting a stud. I think you're getting a potential top 10 pick. And when you get potential top 10 picks, those lead to national championships. Those lead to more top 10 picks coming into your program because they see what you have done for the other guys. This is phenomenal by Steve Sarkisian. Phenomenal, phenomenal. There's still someone in the pipeline. I don't know who it is. Kendall Gerville, who's also a 4-star, came on the recruiting visit, said Texas leads. He said that today. So if you land him, we're talking about, I mean, just dominating the trenches in recruiting, dominating. And you're not going to have to go in the portal anymore for 5 defensive tackles. You maybe have to go for 1 now. You might have to go for 1, if that. So Steve Sarkisian, the coaching staff, everyone has done a phenomenal job recruiting, and it's only going to get better. I think the next month for Texas is going to be pretty insane. I expect Felix Ojo to commit. I expect Kendall Gerville to commit. I expect Caden Finley to commit. Exciting times on the 40 acres, and we want you to be right here and like and subscribe at the Voice of College Football. Again, guys, we are here every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, breaking down the latest news stuff coming out of Austin. So please check us out. Please hit that like button. Please subscribe. And as always, guys, remember, throw those horns up and hook them, guys. Hey, hook them, because we had, for a long time, we had that decade. We had that decade, guys. That decade is now over, gone. Long history. This is beautiful stuff out of Austin. Thank you guys for watching. Hook 'em.